Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Auni binti Rostam Effendi. My metric number is 2417342. So this is my personal reflective video regarding my field observation for my criminology portfolio. So these photos were taken in my neighborhood area where I observed the environment and how it may relate to the burglary cases that have been happening around here. From this observation, I realized that crime is not just about people having bad intentions, but also about the environment that make it easier for crime to happen. In my neighborhood, I noticed several things like poor lighting, especially in certain areas where it was very dark. Some street lights were dim and not functioning well, and there were no CCTV cameras and also no security patrols. At night, the area was also very quiet with very few people outside. What stood out to me the most is the fact that burglary has already happened several times in this area. So after observing it myself, I started to understand why burglary happens several times here. The environment itself creates the opportunity for crime. It made me realize that even normal places like residential areas can become risky when there is a lack of security and monitoring. From an Islamic perspective, this issue feels even more serious to me. Islam emphasizes justice and the protection of people's wealth and safety through the concept of maqasid Sharia. For example, in Surah Al-Baqarah verse 188, Allah says to not take other people's wealth unjustly. To me, this clearly shows that burglary is not just a crime but also morally wrong. Another verse about theft is in Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 38, which shows that Islam takes this issue seriously as a way to deter crime and also to protect society. But what made me reflect the most is the concept of hisbah, which means that we all share the responsibility to prevent wrongdoing. It is not just a job for the police, but also for the whole community. When I think about my neighborhood, I feel like this sense of responsibility is lacking. Most people stay indoors at night and they don't really pay attention to what is happening around them. From an Islamic point of view, I believe that we could do better as a community in looking out for each other. The theory I use in my observation is routine activity theory. So routine activity theory explains that crime happens when there is a motivated offender, a suitable target, and also no capable guardian. After learning this theory, it really changed how I look at my neighborhood. This is because I used to think that these burglary cases happen because of the criminals alone. But now I realize that the situation matters a lot. For example, the poor lighting and the lack of CCTV camera means that there is no strong guardian in this neighborhood. Parked cars and quiet house at night become the suitable target for the criminals. So when all these factors come together, crime becomes more likely to happen. What surprised me is that this theory explains exactly what I saw during my observation around my neighborhood area. It made me realize that crime can happen repeatedly, not just because of the people, but also because of the environment stays the same. Personally, this issue feels quite real to me because I remember hearing about burglary case in my neighborhood where a house was broken into at night. Since then, I have always been a bit uncomfortable to walk alone at night in certain areas. And during my observation, that feeling came back when I saw how dark and also how quiet some areas were. It made me realize that the fear people feel is actually connected to real environmental risk. So this is not just about something I studied, but also about something that I have experienced and thought about in my life. In my opinion, the best response to this issue is a combination of both practical and moral solutions. From a practical side, I believe that improving the street lighting, installing CCTV cameras, and having security patrols can help to reduce the opportunities for crime. But from Islamic perspective, I also believe that the community should be more aware and responsible. People should look out for each other, report any suspicious behavior, and not ignore what is happening around them. Overall, this assignment helped me see crime in a different way, not just an action, but as something that is influenced by environment, society, and values. So that's all from me. Thank you.